everyone, and welcome once again to Caleb Likes Books. Today I have another monthly update for you for the month of May 2024, talking a bit about the books that I read this month, a couple books that I got this month, because I didn't get enough to do like a full book haul, but I did get a couple books this month that I like to talk about, and then just a couple of general channel updates. Get right started into it. This month, this is the first month this year, I think, where I have successfully completed my entire TBR that I set for myself at the beginning of the month. As of time that I'm recording this, I have not yet done that. I'm still in the middle of a couple of these books, but I'm projecting that I will have finished or be nearly finished with everything that was on my TBR by the very end of this month, which is very exciting. And at the latest, it'll be like early May or early June rather, by the time I finish them, which, you know, still technically doesn't count as finishing it within the month, but it's close enough. I managed to at least get everything in. You know, every other month I've ended up missing a book or two, which was unfortunate. But I did finish 5 books this month, coming in at a rough page count of about 2,000 pages, which is probably one of the better page counts for this year so far. This year my reading has been a little bit less than it was last year. Last year, 2,000 was kind of my normal low end. It was usually 2,000 to 2,500, sometimes even getting up towards 3,000. But this year so far it's been a little bit less, but still very happy with it. Got through 5 books. Good stuff. So as far as the stuff that I did read this month, first up we have Star Wars The New Jedi Order Force Heretic 1 Remnant, which is a mouthful. This is the 15th book. 15th book of the Star Wars The New Jedi Order series. Such a long series, it gets hard to keep track of which ones are which. I really, I didn't love. I think it was okay. It was probably one of my least favorite books in the series, but it did have some really exciting setups for things later to come in the other 2 books of the Force Heretic trilogy, which I am planning to read next month. So very excited for that. But this one to me didn't do much, but it was okay. It had some good setups and things like that. But overall was not an amazing book or anything. And by the way, reviews for all of these books will be out either already or very soon on the channel. Just want to get that out there also. The next one that I read was Lords of the Sith, which is a canon book and was a reread. And by the way, these are all Star Wars books because this was my Star Wars month, so all of these are Star Wars books also. Read Lords of the Sith, which I read a few years ago and wanted to read again, and I really enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot the first time I read it, but this time it really cemented itself as one of my favorite canon books. Absolutely had a great time with it. Just a fantastic book all around. Definitely read it if you haven't, and it's a great one also to start out if you are pretty new to the canon books or things like that. It's a great like standalone, don't have to really have read anything else. It's a great book. Definitely would recommend it. Next up I had Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader, which was also a reread. This one I had not read since high school, so 7 years or so since I read this one, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Had a good time with it. I really liked how it handled Darth Vader. I really liked how it handled Order 66, because the first part of the book was basically Order 66, and then the immediate aftermath was the rest of the book, which was really interesting. And it was a really solid book. I enjoyed it a lot, and all that stuff. And then the last 2, which I am currently, at time of recording this video, reading concurrently, and hope to have either finished by the time this video comes out or be close to finishing them, and we'll probably finish them, like I said, early in June, if I haven't finished them by the end of this month. One of those is going to be Black Spire, which is another canon book. This time is a first-time read for me. So far I am enjoying this a decent amount. Not amazing to me as of the moment that I'm at right now, but you know, enjoying it a decent bit. And the same goes for Cataclysm, which is the next High Republic book that I need to read, which I'm very happy to be getting into, regardless of whether I love it or not, which at this moment, I just started it today as of time of recording this. And I absolutely am loving it so far. I think it's a really great setup at the beginning of it. And so, you know, in a couple weeks here, you'll be getting my full thoughts on both of these. But very happy to be getting into this one because I actually looked, and it has been over a year since the last time I read a High Republic book. The last time I read one was Convergence last April of last year. So it's been over a year since I've read a High Republic book, which was just really sad to me because I really enjoy this series, especially Phase 1. But I'm happy to be getting back into it, and I hope to get at least most of the way caught up by the end of this year. At the very least, I want to be able to read the final book when it comes out. So hopefully I can get caught up by then. As far as a book haul or anything like that, I didn't get enough books to do a dedicated video, but I did get 2 books this month, which I will talk about briefly. First, I got Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I don't know 100% if I am. I took French in high school. You'd think I know this thing. But I got that at my work. They have like a little book donation bin where people can just leave books and you can get them for cheap or whatever. And they had this book there. And so I saw it and I was like, yeah, why not? I want to read more classics, which this is. I want to read more historical fiction, which this is. And I've heard a lot of good things about this one, so I figured I'd pick it up and sometime I'll try it out. Don't really know much about it aside from it's a classic book that a lot of people like. It's been adapted several times, and Brandon Sanderson, of course, my favorite author, has said, I think, that this is his favorite classic. So that itself kind of makes me excited to read it, but I'm curious to read this one. It's super long. It's like 1,300 pages, so hopefully I enjoy it. But that will probably be read like later this year maybe, or even next year depending how far back it gets pushed. It'll be a little bit anyway, but I'm very excited to read it when I do. And then the other book that I got was a book called Forerunner, which is the first book of the Nightshade Unicorn series by T.S. Pedramon. I don't know if I'm saying his last name correctly, so hopefully I am. But this is actually an indie self-published book, which only has a couple of reviews on Goodreads, but the author actually reached out to me and asked if I would like to check this book out and you know, give me a review copy and things like that. And I said, sure, you know, send it my way and I'll check it out. So I will probably be reading this one over the summer at some point because I want to get to it pretty soon, considering that it was sent to me. And so don't really know much about this one, but from what little I've read of it, it seems cool. It's like a YA epic fantasy. Unicorns are involved somehow. Seems pretty cool. And of course, I'm always happy to highlight some lesser known books on here, which I don't do very often, but I'd like to do more often. Highlight some indie pub or just lesser known traditionally published books or things like that. So hopefully I enjoy that one, and I'll be reading that sometime this summer. Now to get into some actual channel stuff, which is, there's not much to talk about here, but I did have a good month with the channel. We are currently at the mid 480s in terms of subscriber count, which is great. I've increased, I think, about 40 since the end of last month, which is cool. Things are going well on the channel. Thanks to all of you who have subscribed recently. I hope you're enjoying the videos and things like that. Yeah, things are going pretty well. Had some pretty decently successful videos also. 3 specifically. The most recent one that I released was my Where to Start with Star Wars Canon books, which it's only been a couple days since that came out for me, but that already has like 120 views or so, which is pretty good for me. And then a couple other videos, like my 5 underrated Star Wars Legends books, which is several hundred views at this point and is currently, at time of recording this, my 11th most viewed video, which is cool. And then there was also my video where I recommended some Star Wars books that I think should be read before The Acolyte comes out, which has been doing pretty well. So I've had a few videos that have done pretty well this month, which is very nice to see. So good stuff overall with the channel. Things are going well. We're fast on the way to approaching 500 subscribers. At the rate that I'm going, I think it's very possible that I'll hit 500 in June, which is very exciting. That was my goal for the end of this year. So to have hit it halfway through the year, that would be really cool. We'll see how things go, but it seems likely that that will happen. So thank you to all of you who have been consistently watching and subscribing and things like that and supporting the channel. I appreciate it a lot. Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts on how things have been going. And so that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.